The set's released in the 100th year since Sinatra's birth.
Mm-hmm.
It's coincidentally the centennial for Les Paul also.
Also Billie Holiday.
And Billie Holiday. Now, curious, I don't know if Les and Frank ever worked together. I know Les and Bing were pretty tight, but did Les Paul and Frank Sinatra ever do anything together live or on the radio or on record that you're aware of?
They did one song on an Armed Forces radio service program, and I desperately wanted to include it in this box set, and I just could not find a decent enough copy that would live up to the standard that I set for the box. And that's something I'm hoping we can include in a future project at some point, is that I can find a copy of Frank with the Les Paul Trio behind him doing Shine On Harvest Moon.
Now, if collectors are watching this and they want to contact you, if they might have something in the archives and might even have that,
great.
How would they contact you? What's the best way to get a hold of you guys?
I'm always available at Chuck Granata, ChuckGranata @gmail.com. Chuck Granata @gmail.
Sounds good.
I'm looking for Les Paul Armed Forces Radio Service 16-inch transcription disc, and he sings Shine On Harvest Moon. It's actually the program with Fibber McGee and Molly and Frank Sinatra. I don't even think Les Paul is credited. Or maybe it's the other way. Maybe Les Paul is credited, but Sinatra's not. But anyway, if a collector's watching and they have one of the original 16-inch transcription discs in good condition, they'll know what it is because they would have listened to it. And it's clearly announced as Frank is singing and Les Paul and the trio are behind him. You can hear Les on guitar. I mean, it's not anything that's revelatory. It's not something that's earth-shattering.
But for historic relevance.
Yeah, it's the only documented recording of Frank Sinatra with Les Paul.
Because in the studio, even though they were both on Capitol, they never got together.
No, there was no collaboration at any point.
Yeah, that was curious to me because even during the early part of their career, there were plenty of times when their paths would have crossed, and I would have figured definitely by the time they were both at Capitol in the late 50s that it would have happened. So, well, there you go.
Tragedies. I mean, also, Frank was signed to Capitol Records at the same time as both Peggy Lee and Nat King Cole.
Yeah, nothing.
And they never did a duet album together, neither one of them. I mean, they did. There was an album where Frank Sinatra conducted the orchestra for Peggy Lee, but that's not a duet album. Fortunately, we had both Nat and Peggy appearing on Frank Sinatra's radio program in 1945 and 1946, and we've been able to include Frank and Nat singing together and Frank and Peggy singing together. So it's another rarity on this box set.